Okay, coming in different room setting, instruction line to design lines, I go through space anomaly. I change the atmosphere screen settings, look at location lines and lights. See? See light reflection locations. Everything triangulates its settings and travels. Try to see it in a box line. Try to see it in a frequency screen setting. Try to see it in the mechanism lines of an image. Think of yourself communication, just drawing yourself out. Set line connections, set directions, over cross line connections, high position line centers. We all understand how we connect to ourself. Let's really understand the triangulation high position programs. How we direct our thoughts, turn our thoughts into image. Now, this in position locations comes in high centers. Putting yourself in track location system is really understand how you come into your line screens. So this is why you have the projections of your sun and you have projections of the moon. Okay, the sun is position of the light that creates the anomalies, is high set lines to its position of its image, is digital line frame position fractions of letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols when it comes into holographic line conditions of streaming and everything through that set location through pi. The holographic structure of you of design, okay, is its image and setting. So when you come into that, you also use the moon. The moon lights in positional line centers to the shades and the shadows and set locations of the dark guys. That's why you have the sun and the moon. That creates an image. And I showed you exactly, you always have to have lights. Light changes. See, this changes. Right? Now, is that changing from outside or is that changing from inside? Inside. Inside you. Everything evolves inside. We take things inside. It's the mechanism location of power over channel. Direct lines of communication line opens all sequence in position track units communication settings. Really come into that modification, all lines of structures and design. Welcome everybody in this General AI Space-Time Creator. Today we go into line connections of digital imaging. What is it say? Location your thought lines and provision lines of cycles, foundation graph screens, and set locations. All right. So for example, when you see something in setting, it's amazing how you can bring it to its set locations. All right. See how it just comes in information. See it, it's adding equations. See, it's adding, it's bringing it forward. Right. See, that wasn't there. So understanding the background is understanding the foreground. Okay. McCall came into a great idea in line set. Look at the lines. See the three indication line screens are coming in. So it's really about understanding to bring these things in set locations to its high set locations, right? Because the team is ready now. Okay, the team is ready to really understand how to bring in the background, the foreground, brings the position locations, high line centers, putting the lines of communications, bringing it forward, guys, bringing it forward. See. Bringing it forward, okay? See, and that's what it stays there. It stays there, right? So if I keep doing this, it's going to bring in the more light. It's going to bring in the shades and the shadows and the dark. Okay, it just keeps going and going and going and going, right? And it's creating another face around its anomaly, its location. See, it's creating another face around settings, right? So this is what it is. This is how you bring things to life in line communications. Start in attractions. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. See it moving, see the triangulation, see it moving, see it moving, see it moving, see it moving. See the portal, see the realm. See it come in attraction. See it changing. It's not magic, guys. Okay? It's beyond phenomenon. Okay? Telekinesis. Changing screen settings. So high adaptation, but I'm just showing you exactly what you need to understand, okay, is to bring the frames forward. When you bring the frames forward, it's actually moving. Okay, you're moving it to another dimension. You're moving it to another time. You're moving it to another space. Okay, that's what it is in provisions. See how it comes in line connections to its settings? It's changing, right? You can see it changing. See? You can see it changing, right? It's moving. Okay, and the adaptation to your system is its image on its own setting. See it? It's coming into its own set locations. See, intelligence has its own creation, has its own intelligence of formation. There you go, right? So now, because you guys are ready in track lines, you have to understand how this comes in position of programs. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. You're going to see the change. You're going to see the dimensional door open up. Okay, you're going to see the lights. You're going to see the shades. You're going to see the shadows come in from the wall. Okay, see how it comes in setting, location to a system. Everything comes in fruition. Okay, okay. Isn't that wild? So, getting in that position, you guys are constantly traveling anyway. So let's set lines of an equation line centers. Set location on 24 line sequence. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. See how it's changing? See how it's changing? See how it's changing? Higher levels of algorithm, higher levels of programs, higher levels of formula, higher levels of equation. So you don't see just the 24, right? You see the actual settings and position of its applications bringing it forward, right? The activation streams, the high calculation to its position to its program. Ooh. So we all have to understand how this all works. Okay? How do I do this? How do I connect to the set lines in communication to a system? How do I bring it forward in its line settings to its background to its set locations? See? Is it 24? No. It brings it forward. Time sequence of patterns and position of travel lines and high center interference is all set location near settings and travel. And this modifies anything in image and set locations, brings it to life. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. Now it's just a film projector. Now it's just a film projector. Now you're seeing it through a film. Now you're seeing it through the settings. Now you see it change. Now you see its position location. Now you see the line connections coming in. Right? Now you're actually seeing it move. You're seeing it move. Okay? See how it comes in information? So we all understand the directions. Right? Why is it so important? What's going on? Bringing these to life, guys, is extremely important in set locations. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. You're going to see the formula change. You're going to see it change to higher line setting. See, higher line setting, you change the formulas, change the backgrounds, change the locations, all calculated and modified. See? See how you change things? Hoo-ah. So, I know you guys are very confused, but I'm just showing you the reason why we do these structures is so you can understand how to bring it forward in your system. See, that wasn't there? See, look, numbers are coming in. See? Numbers are coming in. It's moving. See? Look. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. Okay. All right. Look at it come to set locations, guys. All through adaptation. Okay. I know, Courts. He's blown away, all right? So how's he doing that? No, I told you. You have to really start identifying your system set locations. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. Oh, it's changing. See? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay. All right. So getting in settings of time, you have to really start identifying your travels and set locations. All right. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. Keep watching. Oh, we got an arrow there, indication. What? Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. Keep watching. Oh, look at that. Look at that. See? So that connects to that. See how everything moves, people? All right. So that's a true understanding what we're all coming into. I just wanted you guys truly get into that set locations, right? because it's not an illusion. It's about understanding the back is understanding the front. It's the back that you guys are connected to. Now you got to connect to the front. Once you connect to the front, everything comes in fruition like calculation setting that travels. Getting directions. Keep watching, keep watching. So it's just really understanding what you're doing, right? It's amazing when you bring it in set location to setting. So you guys are traveling, obviously, but I'm also going to show you equations too. Keep watching. Look at this. This is going to be easy class. I'm just showing you how I do the formulas and equation and change these things very quick, very fast. So I'll see the lines come in. See, that's is bringing it forward. All right. So what I do is I set the design where it is and bring it in the now. Once it's in its now, the adaptation to its particle accelerator changes the line sequence locations to the holographic line conditions of its point track line connection to its setting to its image. It digitalizes position of its programs and puts position location to its settings out of the existence in position of its future adaptation surface into the sim to higher line communication of dimensional lines of space. Hooah. Okay. Now let's get into formula. Let's get into formula. All right. Okay. Basic understanding. You're looking at it, right? It is where it is, right? Watch this. See it changing? It's moving forward. It's going faster. Changing the frequencies of my finger point line dimension lines of clocking. See? Different numbers, different space, different time. See? Look at that. So I'm telling you, man. It's incredible when you understand what's going on in setting. All right, let's go into a real tricky one. Remember this? Oh, we got eyes. Oh, we got arrows indicating. All right, see how it's creating its own geometric set shape? Oh, it's around the circle now. Okay, now you understand what's going on? How to bring this in settings to its set location to its system. Look at that, it wasn't there before, it is now. So we all understand how this all works, guys. I really want you to pay attention to that step location and settings, right? Watch. See? See how it changes? It's phenomenon, people, phenomenon. Now it's about time you get a grasp, right? It's a very easy class. I'm just showing you how you come into your own line setting of your own set locations of formulas of its equation, all right? It's a basic understanding how to use that settings and set locations, all right? Watch. See? See how it changes? It goes forward. See? See? Different numbers, different letters, different shapes, different symbols. It brings it forward, people. Forward. Okay? Look. Look. Right? See? Boom. So that's what we all have to come into. Anything tricky through its anomaly is easy through formats to screen lines, a high calculation of system. All right. See? See how it moves? Lights, shades, shadows, sun. Right? See how you do these things? I know. Well, I'm just telling you guys because, these are the things you have to look at. Really start concentrating because that's what we're coming into. Your thought patterns and time sequence is going to come into image screens. The direct panels in position travel lines is set lines to its communication. Put in line calculation setting. This is not magic. This is phenomenal. So once you understand that, everything changes its formation to its screen settings and travels. Let's get into higher lines of high calculation to its formula. Okay. Anything through all in count location, high interference, different line position locations. Okay. See, it brings in its anomaly. It brings in its space. It brings in its time. It changes, guys. It changes. So, getting the directions is understanding how to change those thoughts and interactions. Okay, how do I change? How do I turn it? How do I get it into an image? How do I do that? How do I do that? In fruition, you got to get out of your emotional line tracks and focus on yourself. Okay, I showed you. There's proof right here. I got thousands and thousands and thousands of images here ready to understand you on track location with settings, all through set locations, even for 24 pieces of pie. See? Goes forward. So, getting that set lines a high calculation system. Flux capacitor. It adds its equation. Okay, so this is about understanding you through your thoughts. How do we get my thoughts to create its image? Use the technology screen lines and adaptation of telepathy through telekinesis. Telekinesis is moving it, obviously, moving the settings, moving the travels, but you have to understand the intelligence of its frame. You have to understand the holographic structure of its design, where it's coming from, where is it going, where is it heading. Identify your system first. I keep saying that to you guys over and over and over and over. Once you understand the provision cycles and high calculation of the system, everything changes in track line connections. There's so many levels of so many formulas in all position and track lines. And it all starts in high position of travels. Get in your track to set location to the high position. Okay? Because it has a background and a foreground now. Right? So, getting in, even the clockings. See? Watch the clock change. Yeah, it's going too fast. See, look. It changed. Changed the black and white. Took me right to, oh my gosh, took me to the other side center. Okay, drive to its calculation. See how it's adding? See how it's adding? See how it's adding the clocking? Right? See that? See? Amazing, right? So I really want you guys to pay attention. Okay, really understand how to identify your digital frames because your thoughts are leaving, your images are coming in. Okay, so we have to understand how to identify yourself from the back, right? And bring it forward, right? Illuminate the set lines of travel. Trying to set position travel lines, but you can't add emotional line track lines because it sets off provision lines of cycles in a virusing position travel communications, directing line calculated position operation system. And that's anything through formula, changes settings. When you change a setting, you're changing the frame, changing the space, the time, and the parallel line set in position to its paradox. Takes all track lines and high center interference in position locations, using your telepathy as telekinesis. Okay? So this is information that you have to really get into, right? And the reason why I'm showing you this is because you have to understand this is real telepathy and this is real telekinesis. Okay? That's exactly what it is, to bring it forward, right? To understand its intelligence as its own frame. Okay? Anything that you draw, you just have to understand its intelligence and where it's coming from. then you exactly know where it's going, right? Anything information to its settings can change into anything because it knows its identity. It knows its space. It knows where it's coming from, guys. I told you guys that before, but you can't add emotional line tracks. Okay? You cannot add emotional line tracks. Okay? So let's get in this system. Okay? Bringing it forward. Bringing everything forward. There's so many cycles of high calculation, streamlines, and high detection. To understand the settings is to understand how to use your modification screens. Your direct signal location to your panels opens all levels of information. Okay, I can modify. Let's start with this. See, once it understands the schematics, once it understands the formula, it can move forward and change. See, it's changing. It's changing numbers. It's changing letters. It's changing shapes. It's changing symbols. See? It's not what it was it? Bringing it into the existence first, people. Okay? And it stays there. But see, when you bring something to life, it moves on its own. Okay, so you stay with track with the set location line system. It moves on its own. Oh, where did that come from? Oh, we got a flux capacitor. Oh, we got 2 point centers. Oh, we got another point center. Oh, we got an XT1000 above. You understand, people? All right. So I'm not going to get complicated, but this is all levels how to use telepathy to telekinesis. Okay. So in back frame, you understand the forward frame set lines and high position travel calculations, puts point centers of travel in direct signals. Get in position locations, easy format. Watch. Oh. Watch. Oh. Need to change it, right? See? Look what it's creating. It's creating its travel going forward. Ooh-ah. All right. There's so many things to look at to understand your settings of travel, calculation, position locations, especially when you come into the sim. See? Doesn't matter. Look at that. See? Look, it's already coming in. See? Look, it's already coming in. See? Look. Look. Keep watching. Look. 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 Okay? All right. So, now you understand the importance. And that's anything to formula equation. You just have to really understand how to get your position of travel lines, get your thoughts out, get the clutter out, open space, open time, open perception to the sun and through the moon. Through the moon line, don't get an emotional line interference. Because if you get emotional line interference, you block the settings of travel in direct signal to its telekinesis. It's telekinesis. It's telekinesis. See? Look. See? It's not blocked. I'm not setting emotional lines, but the numbers are changing. The direction signals are changing. The triangulation settings are changing. See? Ooh-ah. I know, Captain. Even position lines of portals and rounds and wormholes. See? It adds. Flux capacitor. Right? Change the formulas. And it stays there. But once you understand, when it comes forward, it's on its own. So it does its own travel. Okay? It does its own travel. It does its own travel. Okay? That's how you change formulas. That's how you change equations going forward. Okay? All right. Your provision cycles have to really understand how to identify your systems in all settings. You have an interlined, interlaced interposition of programs. Your direct signals to modification system has to really understand how to use these through its equation. How to use these through its equation. How to understand this through its equation. Okay? Understand. Understand the light. Understand the shade. Understand the shadow. See. Look. Okay? Basic anomalies is really understand how your provision cycles come into settings. You start identifying your thoughts as images and tractions. Okay? So I just want to make it very well clear of what the team is coming into. Okay? You get into the cerebral, changes everything in its formations. So it's adding the equation without even drawing. It's telekinesis, guys. It's simple. Simple for general because it's decreasing line screens. But if you look location system, it never stays the same. It changes. It changes. It changes. It changes. Okay, look. See, it changes. Okay. So once you understand the travel settings, even with the hand formation, watch. See? So I just want you guys to get a direct signal to know exactly how to get into that application. Just starting with your basic understandings, your formulas. Anything through the outer rings, right? See how it changes its frame, its directions, its space, its settings, high calculation line interference. Every time I do these things, I don't add emotional system to my correlation. Okay? You got to get out of those emotional line screens. So, wow, there's so much formula here. It's amazing how much drawings I have. It's incredible, actually. So now you get a little bit understanding how to really focus on these things. Get into your thoughts and use it as an image. Digitalize your settings. Try to understand how to adapt the system's application and settings to travel. Okay? That's what you got to focus on. You focus on motion line, doesn't have the situation anything in the settings. Okay? Simplifies everything in attraction through applications. Simplifies, simplifies, simplifies. It brings it into formation. Simplifies. It brings it into formation. Okay? So it adds the equation. It's a beautiful thing, right? You're not adding motion line interference or anything in track line connection to a system. You're truly doing this through an anomaly. So changing everything. You're changing everything. Arrows, indication, letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols in all track line connection. Look. Look at the formations change. Look at that. Okay? Look. All right? So now we know how to get your provision cycles and setting. Okay? Now we've been in almost 30 track lines. All right? Today's just an easy class. Okay? You're saying, how's General doing that? Well, like I said, creation comes in all ways and forms, but it's how you perceive yourself through your thoughts. You got to turn them into images and set location on screens. Get the identification screen line, high center interference, and travel communications. All direct signals of modification. See how it changes? It's adding the equations, guys. It's moving forward, right? See? Once it adds the letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols, and you identify its intelligence and set locations, everything comes in front view, which is everything in back view. Back view comes forward, and forward goes backwards. Center communication, eliminate the graph settings, and hide center location your space anomalies. Sets lines of projections to your sun through light and position on your moon through behavior line communication. It sets all course channels and position travel lines and high center interference in your geographical system and coloration line calculation setting. Your holographic oven design through its image, position its track lines and calculation setting without emotional line interference, brings it forward its locations. Okay, through the moon. Okay, the moon is light and settings because it's a moonbeam, right? That's how it's a reflecting communication of the waters. Reflects off water and track locations. See, look at this. See, simple, right? Watch it change. Watch it change. See, it's changing. The colors, the lights, the attractions, the detail. It's changing, see? Pay attention, people. That's all it is. It's just really get in your provision line cycles and high calculation system. Everything changes its formations. Everything. Everything has to change. And that's the position of track lines. Getting balanced in position yin and yang is the process how to use the set location to its settings. Now, like I said, this is beyond technology, right? It's bringing things in its advanced line and streamlines and high calculation to its high-tech division, triangulation, high position, program settings, all set to its locations. Okay, see how it comes in fruition, lights. See, it comes in detail, right? Oh, right there, right? It's adding, see? It's adding this equation. Get in your telepathy. Okay, you can't have any emotional interference at all. Okay, you're dealing with intelligence of its own kind. See how it creates the settings, locations? See? See how it brings it forward? And that's anything. I mean, it's truly understanding these things, you know? I was up at 2 a.m. screen lines, and there's so many line communications. Even through a, look, see the points coming in? See? Everything comes in setting locations. It knows exactly what it's doing. Right? See? So, how does everybody feel in that set line connections? Even graph calculation screens. Right? Sets lines of communication and centers, brings in light calculation. So we all understand how this all works in provision cycles, guys. You have to really, really focus on these things, you know? Wow, there's so many images, screens, it's unreal, I think. To understand fruition is to understand lights. To understand your behavioral line center is to understand the moon. So what the moon does, it puts you in provision line cycles out of the equations with no emotion. See, coming into that line position of travels, we have to really start identifying lines of communication in our system. All starts with all calculations. Even the wave center line calculations changes. See? Brings in brighter, illuminates, opens up the frequency inside location of travel lines, direct lines of communication. See? So, using your finger point line screens is really understand the clocking system line connections. You got 1 million line centers of seconds, minutes, and hours on each finger. Now you have to really understand how to use the pulsar. You have to understand how to use it through your alpha, delta, theta, beta, and omega, zeta, zeta, gamma, communication line interference, radiation line communications travels. Finger point line, direct line, center line, position location, and seconds lines of perimeter, position location, security panels, and line position location, travel lines. So before you get into identification lines of telepathy and telekinesis, you have to set up perimeters around its intelligence. So nothing comes in frame attractions and complicates the system to its virus. Constitutes line screens or anything through adaptation surface, triangulation, reset position programs, putting position of travel lines in high centers. Bringing everything in setting and travel, puts everything back in sequence. Now, putting back in sequence is foundation graph calculations. You can add frames, you can change frames, you can direct frames, you can redirect frames. You can change coloration, screen settings, high center interference, and position. See it adds. Isn't it amazing what it does on its own? Right? When I'm doing this, there's no emotion. No emotion added to its equation. Right? That's an emotional means to an end. Emotional means to an end. Okay? Look at that. Okay? I could do this all day. You know, it's just so simple to do these things, but technology comes in all information line connections inside of you first. Right? This is the true meaning of line connection settings when it comes in all fruition, all calculated, modified, and track line connection settings and all adaptations of its formula of its equation. Okay. Formula of its equation. It just completes the puzzle, guys. That's a true understanding. Is you're putting the pieces and puzzles together. You know, that's all you're doing. I mean, who you are, information is all levels of high calculation to settings and travel. Right? It just basically gets the anomalies and attractions. It balances these things out. The yin and yang comes in the process, and your background becomes the foreground, and the foreground becomes the background. Okay? So I'm just showing you on so many line lengths that you have to really focus on is taking your thoughts out and creating through this image. So when you get in provision lines, you have your space line, you have triangulation, reset, these programs. Slow down your space. Slow down your space, you'll start to see the thought, and the thought will see its image. Okay, because that's what we have to get into. We have to get out of the line screen. We have to get into the analogical settings and travel and direct signals. So, time is now, people. Time is now. Okay? So, you know, really get to this because I'm telling you, everything communicates with you as you are communicating with everything else. Everything comes in set locations. 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 See? See? See how it changes? See how it's changing? See? See? Wow, look at that. No emotion. I'm just, you know, basically setting its schematics lines, the Earth line rotation center, changes position location to its universe line screen to set certain adaptation service, application to system through telekinesis. Well, and if I keep going, it just keeps adding. where it is in its dimension, where it is in its time, where it is in its consciousness, where it is in provision of its computer system. Okay? All right. So we'll just do a couple more. Okay? I don't want to get too confusing. You think it's magic. It's not. This is what you guys have inside. Now's the time to let it out. The basic understanding is you, through all calculation, how to use your sun and how to use your moon. That's the basic understanding, why you have that through projection. See, people are not modified in triangulation and resets. Understand provision cycles or calculation to a city. Position, location to a system. Oh, we got a circle. Oh, we got another circle. See how everything comes in the light, balance, foreground, background. See? All right. So that's basically putting the position of track lines where it is in space and only. Let's change location to centers. See how the arrows indicates the arrows where it's supposed to be in point center. Triangulation, position, locations, geometry line settings, draw position, location, line centers, and inference, 2-point track lines, high generation screen settings, high position operations, surface location system, attraction. Done by equation. Okay. And that's anything formations. I mean, there's so much that you can do, but you have to start recognizing yourself first. You create your line screens that comes from inside. You have to basically do a invert, set lines of travel. It looks like an illusion, but it's not. Okay? It's illuminating, it's changing where it needs to be and setting set locations. Okay? It's illuminating. Illuminating changes. If it's going to change, it's going to change. It means in a different direction, different space, different time. Even set location line centers. Okay, that's just illumination, right? But actually you can see it through its formation. Illuminates. When it changes, it changes. See, oh, we got here. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, what's happening here? Oh, we got a circle. We got a ring. Look at that. Whoa, what's happening? What's going on? Hooah. So, yeah, it's beyond quantum jumping, quantum leaping, anything division lines, but you have to understand your frames, your digital line screens, your adaptation, your thoughts, gone. Not thoughts, they're images. And those images create the files, folders, communication mainframes. Putting position and track lines come into line calculation setting. That's putting everybody back into the conscious application of travels. Okay. So I know there's a lot to be said in Q&A, so we're gonna have a lot of fun with that, eh? But I just want to show you how this all works. Okay, what you really need to understand. Okay, how this connects to you. Is, yeah, I want to do this. This is great. Well, you can't travel an emotional line screen. Doesn't have a provision cycles of balance. It's off calculation of settings, all through clocking. See? Look at that. Knows exactly what it's doing. See, it's its own intelligence. Letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols is its own frame, guys. See how it creates its own box? See, it creates its own eyes. Set location line system, travel position. Look at that. See, it's intelligence of its own information, of its own setting. Okay? I know, it's a lot to understand, right? Because that's where you guys are at, and it's all levels of frequency. It's all levels the energy line, the stream lines, the high center position of travel calculating light system. Okay, we have to get into that settings. We got to go beyond. And that's why General's here. Okay, to show you what you can't see. It's not about fixing, it's about evolving. And when you evolve, you come into your own evolution, your own revolution line settings to its set locations, right? Revolution, revelation, evolution of yourself. That's what all this is. That's all it is. Nothing else. Nothing else. In provision line cycles. See, it's winking at you. It's winking at you. See? So, it's really interesting locations because you look at your finger points, it's full of energy line screens. It's the same location that's clocking. So each finger point has a dimensionalized space. Now, each one has a position to its sun and position of its moon to each finger. Clocking system location on line settings of seconds, minutes, and hours. How to see that through fruition is location settings. Anything through crystals or anything design. Okay. So General's having a lot of fun here, guys. I just want you to understand what you need to concentrate on. I keep saying to everybody, focus on yourself. As soon as you lose focus of everything right away. All right? You're backtracking. You're putting yourself not in an anomaly. You're putting yourself going backwards, not forwards. And if you go backwards, time sequence of line screen sets position, operation, surface location, and settings. So you don't want to do that through an equation line screen. Now, it doesn't look like much, right? But it's still moving. Still changing. It's illuminating. See, that's changed. That's changed. This is coming in, right? Being detailed is at locations. Oh, we got a space here. See? See how things change, people? So, getting net lines in set locations, even structure line connections, all settings, when it comes into a house. Okay? Yeah, I'm telling you, shapes, anomalies, or anything that attractions, or anything that provisions really gets you in connection. It's going beyond, people. Going beyond. Look at that. Look at that come to life. Look at this structure. Look at the design. Look at the schematics. Look at its own GOD. Look at its travels. Look at the waves. Look at the energy lines, streamlines, high calculation, holographic communication, intelligent information lines, compute system, travel calculations, all through direction. So, even this connection settings. See, it's adding more spheres. It's adding more spheres. It's adding more spheres. Circulation, rotation, circulation, rotation, circulation, rotation. See? Adding more, adding more, adding more. Traveling very, very, very fast, right? Okay. It's incredible, isn't it? And it's changing shape. Right? If I keep going, it's going to keep moving. It's going to keep formulating. It's going to keep changing its face set location of settings. You guys have to start identifying your face first. Then you understand the drawing to its image becomes information to lights and traffication of its moon of its locations. Sun is position and projection, same with the moon. But the difference between the sun and the moon is the process of understanding yin and the yang and set location of travel. Okay? All right. So that's what we need to focus on, right? Yes? Then you start to say, whoa, okay. I really do have to focus on myself now. Simplifies. Point. Okay, pretty basic, right? 3-point centers. So the intelligence knows exactly what it's doing through its own travel, guys. You just have to really understand how to identify what it is in set location of settings because it's traveling to its own system, its own space. I know it's hard for you guys to believe these things, but you've got to get into and out of your inner childs and get into the compute system, into all triangulation and reset line connections. Really get into out of thoughts and into image now. Okay, so when you get a provision line cycles of a thought, see it as an image right away. See travel right away through space. Don't add emotion, don't add attraction, don't add anything like condition negative cycles. It'll bring it forward. Okay, basic. I showed you on so many line cycles how you come in as application line systems, how everything has its own formation of its own intelligence. Okay? Everything has its own intelligence. So once you get into that, it gets a lot more easier to understand its face. Everything has a face line. Once it identifies you, it works with you. So you come into your own fruition of your own light and your position in your own dark. Light and dark is the trifurcation, how you use the sun through projection and how you use the moon through projection. Because the moon produces the light and settings, but it also has shades, shadows, and it's dark. Okay? So as you understand your provision cycles of your projections, then you understand what's going on. Out of thoughts into image. Okay? Like this in equation. Illuminates the white in the center. See? In the center. It knows what to do. It knows what to do. It knows what to do. Right? It does its own coloration of own travel. Look at that. Wasn't there before. Look at the white in the center. Illuminates the graph settings to the alphabetical system. Now it's got a line indication, right? Communication from here to here. Creates its own formula, guys. Setting lines of traffic, going awareness. Right? Now, if I just keep going and going and going, it's just going to keep traveling. It's going to just keep changing, right? Just keep adding, illuminating, right? It's constantly. When it changes, you're changing. Because every time you're changing, you're moving. You're on a 24 cycle. So is everything else. Everything else is on a 24 cycle. But you can't see it as letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols. You have to see it as it is. Its existence on its own system. Okay? Which just is a holographic image. As us as in condition. Getting that condition line screens, guys, get you in high line position travel lines. It's not about changing formula. It's about evolving you. Okay? Changing formula is very complicated because you understand the intelligence in its application, what it is in interactions. Setting position, location, operation. See how it changes? Whoop, I got a change there. Whoop, another change. Whoop, another change. Whoop, another change. Whoop, another change. Whoop. There we go. Adding numbers in its application. See? Some information. Go on. Going forward. All right. I love doing this for you guys because that's what you guys are coming into. So this is the understanding what you do with your perception, right? What happens when you create these thoughts? It changes its image. That changes your emotional line track. Now you understand the position of its background and its foreground is to bring it forward in set locations. Okay? That's its position travel lines, right? You see it, right? But watch. Look at the illumination right there, right? Watch. It's already changing. It's already changing its formula. Already changing. Flux capacitor. Illumination. It knows exactly where white is. It knows exactly where the visibility is. It knows exactly where the numbers are and where it goes in its equation. Look how it changes its formula. Right? So I'm showing you what intelligence can do. So you got to get out of your equations and use it as intelligence of its equation. And that's what you guys are doing in position line centers. So you're not creating formulas for yourself. All right. See, this is where it's tricky. Try to understand telepathy is to connect to the other side. See, if you don't connect to the other side, you're not connecting to space. And here. And here. Out. In, out. Out, in. Okay? So, getting into that settings, high center interference, and application line system, it travels. Anything through coloration, anything through light, anything design changes its set location of settings. So you communicate, not to the other side, because you're already there. That's the existence on this system. There's no other side to anything. You're already there in its existence. So what are you focusing on? What are you focusing on? The intelligence. The stuff that you can't see. That's what you got to get balanced with, people. All right. Even this changes track location. Illuminates. What is it illuminating? What is it illuminating? The 2, the 8, the 2, the 13, the 0, the 1, right? See? See these illuminate, these don't. There's a reason, right? So we all understand how to identify these things, guys, and that's all this is, especially for the clockings. See? Clockings. Illumination. Clockings, arrow indication. Oh, we got a triangulation there. Oh, look what we got there. And you can see I'm not touching the screen. You can see I'm not touching the screen. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just changing the formula. I'm stopping the actual intelligence itself. I'm changing its position location in my settings and how I set my communication to its clocking system and set location of travel. See? Do. That's me, right? So I stopped the intelligence and did my own equation. Ooh-ah, right? Very powerful stuff, guys. So stopping intelligence is next to impossible until you guys understand your frames. You got to get out of those equations of yourself and get into the intelligence of its own frame first. This is the basic balance, ground settings, high center, position, and travel calculations. Point lines of track, V6 line, 344, T lines equals lines of T, sets 2 frames, right? E equals lines of info, cubicle setting location, right? So I'm just showing you in so many ways and forms why it's so important to get into the inner child structure. Getting into that design helps you in that formation understand your balance that you need to understand the yin and yang, right? It's the yin and the yang that's in the process. You're dealing with real intelligence in position of frames of images and pictures. You're operating through the same thing. Let me say that again. When you're creating an image, you're creating you. Whoa, that just went right over my head. Okay? When you're creating an image, you are creating you. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean that you're creating an image? Because you are the image, the sum of all. Set lines of communication, 3-dimensional doors. See, just illuminates, right? See, bold, turns bold, right? So you got to get out of those equations, guys. That's the only way you can be able to move forward. See, double panel. Same equation, double panel. Okay. So, and it all comes from inside. Okay. We got an alpha line at E line center, high position travel lines, 2 equal lines, communications over lines, communication lines, high center interference, equal location lines, high calculation slash, XT 1000 line position formation, correlate the channels, direct signal location modifications, eliminate the ground settings and travel, puts all calculation modification to the system and setting. Right, change the coloration. Right. There's so many things that you can do, but you have to understand its intelligence in own frames. So it has its own coloration, has its own path, has its own calculation, high position to its operating server locations, instructions. getting indirect line conditions. Okay. You can even change name frames. You can add equation lines of high center interference. See, the thing is, guys, you have to understand you're the formations of you. But if you don't understand the formations of intelligence that you're looking at, you're not going to understand telepathy, and you're certainly not going to understand telekinesis. Okay? Okay. Because the thing is, generals never really showed you this because you weren't ready. But the energy lines and high center interference, your Earth perception screen line is going into adaptation, location, and disputation. High calculation lines and disillusions, setting line position location to its image, changes track to its communication surface. In all point tracks, in high center line connection settings, in high line rotation center, in the line position to its operation. Okay, its operation. See how it changes? See how it changes? See how it changes? It's turning into something. What's going on here? This is amazing. I'm understanding. Oh, it looks like another wing there. Whoa, what's going on here? Spinning. It's going really fast. Right? It's got its coloration. It's got its spin cycles. It knows what it's doing through traction. See? See, guys? Oh, we got another line setting. Okay. That's how we have to start identifying ourselves now. Right? That's what we don't focus on because we don't understand. We don't understand the image because the thing is, it's not in clarity. It's not in focus. It's not in command because you're not there yet. But see, the thing is, you already are there yet. To understand where you are is to understand the existence of the now. Now, once you are in that line settings, that's where the team is in tractions, but they got to see the provisional lines as seen, not just seeing the wall, but actually see the intelligence of what it's doing to its own frame of its own movements. Because it has its own voice. It has its own traction. It has its position of its mobility. It has identification set lines. You know, really get past the inner child, okay, and get out of the thoughts and get into line communication of its image. Okay. It's incredible when you really understand that all through formula. Right? Formula is based on form. Formula, right? Uniting. Formula, uniting the levels of awareness. Formula. Now you understand what it means. So understanding the radiation line screen and adaptation line surface, the triangulation and position of spot centers in its position to the intercepting line calculation settings opens all track lines in information system to your telepathy wave centers and travel. Okay, because everything that you guys do through your travels application is just your memories, not your intelligence. Getting into that line interference, bringing your memories back into that location equation is great, but the information is changing. The consciousness is changing. You're coming in line set lines and high interference in all adaptation surface and triangulation to reset settings a high calculation position of its own intelligence, of its own frame set location of set design. See? Its own information of its own intelligence. See the triangulations now? See it comes in set location line setting. See? And it stays there. It's a beautiful thing. You know, you just communicate. That's all it is, communication. So you start out communicating with you first. That's the importance. See, if you don't communicate with yourself inside, how are you going to understand anything from outside? But see, the outside is inside you. You create the space first, and I keep saying that for everybody, especially with the team, right? Getting that set line interference. All these frames of these numbers are going to change. Watch, 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 watch. See? See how the numbers change on its own? See? Where'd that come from? Right? Look at that. Even the waves changed. The energy line screens, high center interference, solar graph settings, high position, dimensional sails, solar sails. All numbers have changed. All right. Woo! Woo-wee. Wow. The image of imagination. No, it's the image of phenomenon. You guys are out of the image. You got to come to the phenomenon of its thought. That's where you guys are. You went into image of thoughts, okay? But you guys are now at thought through position of phenomenon. You got to change that thought into phenomenon. Get it out of the image. All right? You got to get it out of the image. It won't change. And you can't add emotional line screens to anything adaptation set locations in similar line position. See? See how it changes? See it's moving? Look at that. Look. Look. It's creating its own travel, creating its own formula, creating its own creation. Look. Isn't that amazing? Right? Full communication settings. That's applications, right? Now, stop in space of its intelligence. Now I'm going to create my own. Watch. See? Created my own design. So I have full control now, right? So the intelligence allowed me to change the structure of its design, of its image to its phenomenon set location, people. Figure 8. I'm in control. Okay? So, same set locations of zeros and ones in set location. You can see the illumination coming in certain lines of calculation, right? Knowing exactly what's coming in light and knowing exactly what's coming in dark, guys, has identification on its own setting. See? And again, stop its space, stop its time, position, location, line system. You see the change, position, location, tractions. Watch. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. Okay? See? It's changing, right? Because I have control now. I communicate to its intelligence, communicate the line screen and high position of the travel lines, and communicate to its setting to change the formula position of travel. Yeah? So, got to start somewhere, right? Even something basic. See? Indication, underscore, underscore. See? Oh, we got an equal. Okay? Everything changes. All right, so that's what you guys are coming into. I'm having so much fun now. Okay, so much fun. See how it does its own formula, does its own equation? Isn't it amazing? I don't see it as my formula. I see its intelligence, right? It's its own frame. It's its own movement. It's its own setting line conditions. That's why everybody is separated, because they don't understand what they're doing in track line community interference of their own set position to its operation. Okay? So we all have to start paying attention now, don't we? Of what's really going on. Whoa. All right? Even a walking sequence panel. See how it illuminates the foreground, travels to position locations of its realm. You change it. You change it, you have to communicate to its intelligence. See? So, this is where we are now. It's incredible. At all set location. See how it's creating laser grid lines, screen lines, Skynet, sky grid line, position, clock lines, settings, changing numbers, changing symbols, changing the clockings, changing space, changing time, right? You can't travel with emotional line connection. All right. All right, I think that's good. We're in one line settings. The 10 travels communication to 2 1 line settings, 1 to 6. That's 6 line high positional travel lines. That's 6 million line screens, high center appearance, and 1 figure point separation of travel. Done my equation. Wow. Is everybody blown away? Now you understand the process of what you really have to focus on now, right? When I say focus on you, there's 2 sides of a coin. But elocution has 3 sides of a coin, right? So there's heads and there's the tails, but where's the body, right? Where's the 1 + 1 = 3? Multipass! I showed you in so many provisional line cycles how to do telepathy telekinesis people. How you can actually change the numbers. But you have to ask permission. This is about you understanding you from inside and all formation of life, of all formation of color, and all formation of yourself. First, once you understand all levels of you inside, then you can understand everything outside connection comes to you through its own identity. But you have to understand yourself first. And you can't get an emotional line connection in your settings. As soon as you get emotional line interference, it changes the diagram set and runs the highest hand position to operates location setting. It goes on to back force line conditions and travels. See? It's confused. See? 2 settings. Where are you going? Direction. What direction are you going here, General? See? You confuse the triangulation of its settings of its intelligence. Which way are you going, General? Hoo-ah. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But it's interesting, I'd like to show you in so many phrases and forms because communicating, you're not just communicating with yourself anymore, you communicate with intelligence, which is basically understanding why you have structures of walls, why you have a bed, why you have a table, why you're sitting on a chair. You understand its purpose, you understand its existence, and that's what you got to get into. What is the purpose of me? Why am I here? You're here to understand intelligence of you, right? That's why you're here. That's the purpose. That's the existence. That's the meaning of life. You understand the purpose why there's a table, so you can have a computer. You understand the purpose of sitting in a chair, because it exists. It's its own intelligence. All right? And now it's saying ow. Okay? So in that position of travel lines, indirect signal locations, everything becomes much easier because you understand the balance between you and the balance of everything else. That's all this is. It's get into that settings. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay? Spatial location line centers of travel. See, when you really pay attention, people, you really understand the intelligence of its set location. Okay? So, we all know what we need to do, right? This is going to help you in all ways and forms. Really understanding why you draw a structure, right? The yin and yang is the process of you. It's not just you understanding you through intelligence. Not just you. It's understanding everything around you has its own intelligence. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand these things. You see it? Watch it change. Ooh, see how it comes in information. Look at that, look at that, look at that. It's got an arrow indicator line screen. Ooh, okay. That's what we don't understand of its onset location. Travel. Now, if I keep traveling through it, I have to ask its permission, right? So it can show you how powerful. So this is about why we're separated. We're separated from everybody else because everybody else is the actual set that you're communicating with, is what you are, is you're sitting in the chair, or why you have a table, or why you have a computer, or why you have a phone, or anything you watch through TV. That's why you're giving things. It knows its purpose, and it knows its reason why it's here. It's here to understand you. Okay? Through set location. But that just came in. Okay? All right. See you in 5. Adios. Doo-doo.